Do you guys still talk, or is it kind of a little resistance right now? Because
I ain't spoke with him in about a month.
Oh.
Maybe about a month.
The Lil Wayne and Birdman fallout went way deeper than cash and contracts, and it got real messy fast. After allegations surfaced that Birdman had a hit put out on Wayne, new footage now hints that Wayne wasn't just sitting back, he was ready to push back hard too. What looked like a music business dispute suddenly turned into something straight up dangerous. What started as a mentor bond slowly twisted into a risky power struggle, and this moment cracked everything wide open. The tour bus shooting flipped the entire situation upside down. April 26, 2015 kicked off like a regular show night, with Lil Wayne performing at Compound nightclub in Atlanta. No drama in sight. Hours later, hip-hop history took a wild turn that nobody saw coming. Around 3:30 a.m., Wayne's two tour buses, carrying 12 people, were hit with gunfire on I-285 North. Multiple shots from .40 caliber and 9mm handguns ripped through both buses, yet somehow nobody was hurt, which still shocks people to this day. That moment instantly became one of hip-hop's most talked about incidents. The alleged shooter was Jimmy Pee Wee, Roscoe Winfrey, Young Thug's tour manager, and a YSL-affiliated Bloods gang member. Police had been escorting Wayne's buses due to threats at the venue, where Winfrey was seen near a white 2015 Chevrolet Camaro with an assault rifle. Winfrey reportedly warned Wayne directly, saying, "It's my city. Keep round, I'll spray the bus." After the escort peeled off near Atlanta Road, Winfrey allegedly pulled up, fired several rounds, ditched the Camaro at a relative's garage, tried wiping an Instagram post, and then ran to Miami. That same night, tension spilled onto another stage when Young Thug was booed off in New Orleans, while fans loudly showed love for Wayne instead. The energy was ugly, the timing was wild, and the streets were watching everything unfold. By July 30th, 2015, Jimmy Pee Wee, Roscoe Winfrey, was indicted in Cobb County on a massive 30 counts. Those charges included 3 RICO violations, 8 Street Gang Terrorism Act violations, 12 aggravated assaults, 2 counts of criminal damage to property, 1 firearm possession during a felony, and 2 counts of firearm possession by a felon. The case was stacked and heavy. But things got even more serious when prosecutors named 2 unindicted co-conspirators, Birdman and Young Thug. Authorities alleged Winfrey acted based on Young Thug's threats, tied to gang status and payment as the motive. Wayne's $51 million lawsuit was shaking Cash Money's foundation, and prosecutors claimed Birdman allegedly used Young Thug and Winfrey to intimidate or possibly eliminate Wayne. The evidence trail was loud. Phone records showed Winfrey called Young Thug 8 times within the 12 minutes before the shooting. Right after the shots, Winfrey's first call was to Birdman, lasting during his drive toward the hotel where Wayne's buses were heading for safety. In June 2015, a Young Thug halftime video even showed Winfrey waving an assault rifle. Lyrics like "Pop him in the noggin" were viewed as references to the bus shooting. Instagram posts flashed threats and firearms, while everyone involved claimed Blood's affiliation tied to YSL. Then in September 2018, a leaked phone call between Birdman and Winfrey surfaced.
Saying during the call, Birdman is saying, "Time for you to come out here and get your money. You did everything you could do, boss." Now,
And he's calling from jail.
That call came from a civil lawsuit filed in 2016 by bus driver Alvin Lewis, who sued Birdman, Young Thug, Winfrey, and related entities for emotional distress. Lewis alleged Birdman promised Winfrey roughly $250,000 and a Porsche as payment.
Believe that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Birdman really loves Wayne in that way. I believe that he would not want Lil Wayne harmed in that way, and I don't think he would associate with somebody who tried to do harm to Lil.
According to Alvin Lewis, he's saying that Birdman promised Jimmy Winfrey $250,000 and a Porsche, and that was for the shooting.
Where's he getting this information from?
I have no idea.
Exactly, man. You can't be believing these second, third hand. So
Birdman's camp quickly pushed back, with a source telling TMZ, according to Birdman's camp, that phone call had nothing to do with the bus shooting at all. They claimed it was just unrelated business talk or simple encouragement, nothing more. Birdman insisted he never believed Winfrey was the shooter and said he would never deal with anyone who tried to hurt Wayne. He denied any involvement outright and even promised to help with the investigation. Young Thug also fired back, calling the claims outrageous, but the growing pile of circumstantial evidence still had people raising eyebrows. Winfrey's legal road stayed rocky. In 2015, he pleaded guilty and received a 10-year prison sentence plus 10 years of probation. That conviction was overturned in 2018 due to coercion claims. In 2020, he pleaded guilty again to gang terrorism charges, receiving time served along with probation. Then in 2024, Winfrey pleaded guilty once more in the YSL RICO case, keeping his name tied to the mess. Despite all the noise, no criminal charges were ever filed against Birdman or Young Thug. The district attorney reviewed the links, but ultimately declined to move forward, saying there wasn't enough solid evidence beyond associations. That decision left the case stuck in a gray area that still sparks debate today. The shooting came back into the spotlight during Young Thug's 2022 to 2024 YSL RICO trial. Prosecutors cited the bus shooting as an alleged overt act tied to a broader conspiracy. A 2015 interrogation video resurfaced again in August 2025, where Thug mentioned hearing Winfrey was the shooter, triggering snitching accusations. Thug denied that label fast, saying he was helping his brother, while Winfrey defended Thug, saying he was clean as Listerine. That bus shooting changed everything. What started as a business beef turned into something that felt life-threatening. Whether Birdman or Young Thug were truly involved is still disputed, but the fallout left a dark cloud over hip-hop. A once unbreakable father-son bond was now forever linked to bullets, pressure, and an empire built from the trenches.
A friend of mine introduced me to Wayne, so when I first met him, he became like my son. Like, you know, in New Orleans, we don't have fathers a lot.
Young Dwayne Carter first crossed paths with Birdman around 1991 when he was just 9 years old, through people connected to the New Orleans rap scene. Some say the introduction came through rapper Lil Slim, who was already getting money off music at the time. Others believe it was Wayne's stepfather, Reginald Rabbit McDonald, who had ties to the Williams brothers from the streets. Either way, that moment quietly set off a chain reaction nobody could have predicted. That meeting changed the entire game and sparked one of the most complicated relationships hip-hop has ever witnessed. Birdman had just co-founded Cash Money Records in 1991 alongside his older brother Slim Williams, right out of the Magnolia Projects. As bounce music and street rap took over the city, they stayed grinding independently, pressing their own records and moving them without major label backing. They owned their vinyl, pushing units hand to hand like real street entrepreneurs. Cash Money wasn't about suits or boardrooms, it was raw Southern street life, straight from the pavement. The music spoke on struggle, survival, and ambition, all laid down in heavy beats and gritty bars. Young Dwayne from Hollygrove stood out immediately. His talent was impossible to ignore. He caught Birdman's attention by leaving freestyles on his answering machine over and over. These weren't basic raps either. They were survival stories from a kid who saw music as his only way out. Back then in New Orleans, the choices felt limited. Write your way free, get trapped by the streets, or somehow escape through sports or entertainment. By 1993, at just 11 years old, Wayne officially signed with Cash Money as part of the BGZ alongside Christopher Dorsey, making him the youngest artist on the label by far. Their debut album, True Story, dropped in 1995 and didn't sugarcoat anything. It painted raw pictures of street life, mirroring the heavy crime and pressure surrounding New Orleans at the time. Around that same period, Birdman stepped into a deeper role in Wayne's life. After Wayne's stepfather, Reginald Rabbit McDonald, was killed in 1995, the loss hit the young rapper hard. The trauma shook him deeply and marked a painful chapter in his childhood. By age 12, Wayne began calling Birdman Daddy, or Pops, showing how strong that emotional bond had become. Cash Money's rise after that was nothing short of explosive. A major turning point came in 1998 when the label landed a $30 million deal with Universal Records, launching them onto the national stage. Juvenile's 400 Degrees went 4 times platinum, putting the whole camp on fire. The Hot Boys supergroup formed in 1997, made up of Juvenile, BG, Turk, and Lil Wayne. Their 1999 album Guerrilla Warfare went platinum, sealing their takeover. Wayne's solo debut, Thigh Block Is Hot, also went platinum in 1999, and he was only 17. Wayne openly showed love for Birdman in interviews, calling him "my brother from another." That closeness sparked controversy in 2006 after a viral photo of them kissing surfaced. Wayne later explained it was family love, not what outsiders tried to make it. By 2005, Wayne had climbed all the way to president of Cash Money and launched Young Money Entertainment as his own imprint. That move changed rap forever. He signed Drake in 2009, then Nicki Minaj that same year, and suddenly the label turned into a straight-up powerhouse. Wayne wasn't just rapping anymore, he was building stars. In 2008, Thug Carter III sold over 1 million copies in its first week, locking Wayne in as a hip-hop milestone and certified legend.
You and Wayne had like a kiss thing going on.
First of all, my own born son,
Yes.
I would kiss him.
Right.
I know you got a child, you probably kiss him. You probably got a son and you kiss him.
Yeah.
You heard me? I always looked at Wayne as my son, and I always looked at it like, because I was in the streets, and I thought this might be.
Back in 2006, Wayne and Birdman dropped their joint album Like Father, Like Son, and the title said everything about how they saw themselves. The project peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and went gold. Birdman played the pops, Wayne played the son, and together they flexed the idea of building an empire from nothing. The hit single, Stuntin' Like My Daddy, cracked the Hot 100 at number 21 and even won a Viewer's Choice Award. That song was Wayne rapping about moving just like his daddy, while Birdman showed off the same swagger, the same grind, and the same hunger for the bag. They were loud, flashy, and unapologetic. That Cash Money look, the ice, the whips, the non-stop flex, set the standard for rap excess in the mid-2000s. Wayne stood front and center as the golden child, living proof that Birdman's system worked. But under all that shine, dark patterns were starting to show. Cash Money already had a shaky reputation with its artists. Juvenile, Manny Fresh, and BG all accused the label of playing games with their money. Juvenile left the label twice and later sued for $10 million in unpaid royalties, claiming Birdman was living big while artists struggled. Manny Fresh, the mastermind behind Cash Money's signature sound, walked away in 2005 over unpaid production fees. The cracks were there, even if most people weren't looking yet. BG also spoke out about exploitation, pointing out that Cash Money's street hustle roots shaped how business was handled. Birdman had a past that included drug possession arrests and connections to some serious figures. The label often moved more like a street operation than a traditional record company, meaning standard business ethics didn't always apply. That environment pushed a lot of artists away, but Wayne stayed solid when others walked. Wayne's loyalty ran deep. He believed in Birdman fully and loved him like real family. He trusted Birdman with everything, and that trust would later turn into his biggest mistake. Wayne never questioned the moves, never looked over contracts twice, just believed the man he'd been calling daddy for years had his back. In 2012, a massive Universal deal worth somewhere between $100 and $200 million for Young Money advances came through. That was supposed to be Wayne's war chest. The money was meant to grow the label, sign fresh talent, cover production costs, and push marketing across the board. A whole new level of power was on the table. But Wayne later claimed Birdman allegedly finessed those funds to patch up Cash Money's problems and quietly promote Young Thug as Wayne's replacement. That move cut deep. Young Thug was signed to Birdman's Rich Gang imprint and started getting positioned as the next Wayne, the next generational star, the next cash cow. Birdman appeared to be hedging his bets, planning for a future where Wayne might not be the centerpiece anymore. Wayne felt blindsided, disrespected, and betrayed by the same man he had trusted his whole career. By 2014, constant delays around Thug Carter V had Wayne heated. He felt trapped, stuck, and frustrated, describing the situation as feeling like real hostage vibes.
From day one, I guess I've been blessed to be keeping with the uprise with the music business. And Drake just did $1 million, been #1 for the last 8-9 weeks. Nicki in the lab. I got a little situation with Wayne we got to get in order, but I'm looking forward to.
The album was supposed to drop in May 2014, then again in December 2014, but every time the date came close, Birdman blocked it. The Carter 5 was finished, turned in, and ready to go. Yet it stayed locked up. Wayne couldn't wrap his head around why Birdman was moving like that. He did his part, delivered the music, and still got shut down. A lot of people started speculating that Birdman wanted to renegotiate Wayne's contract. Others believed he was punishing Wayne for even thinking about leaving. No matter the reason, Wayne felt trapped in a cage he helped build. The frustration planted the seeds for one of the most explosive fallouts hip-hop had ever seen. A bond forged in the gritty streets of New Orleans was now cracking under the weight of millions of dollars and broken trust. What once looked like an OG raising a youngin' slowly morphed into accusations of theft, betrayal, and something way darker. The empire they built from the mud started falling apart in public. The collapse wasn't quiet or respectful. It was loud, messy, and charged with real street-level tension. When everything went left, there was no turning back. December 4th, 2014 marked the first public crack in a relationship that had been the backbone of Cash Money Records for over 2 decades. Instead of a private call or a sit-down, Wayne took it straight to Twitter. Millions watched in real time as he aired out his frustrations for the world to see. Wayne accused Birdman of refusing to release Thought Carter Feud, which was scheduled to drop on December 9th. He called himself a prisoner and said plainly that he wanted off the label. This wasn't a sneak diss or vague post. Wayne was done playing nice, done waiting, and done trusting that Birdman would do right by him. He wanted out, and he wanted the entire culture to know it. That tweet hit hip-hop like an earthquake, officially turning the father and son duo into full-blown rivals. It sounded unreal, but it was all unfolding in real time. Just 2 days later, at Vice's 20th anniversary party, Wayne grabbed the mic and told the crowd he was in a bad situation but would be free soon. You could hear the pain in his voice clear as day. This wasn't just a business disagreement over numbers and contracts. This was deeply personal. The man Wayne had called daddy for more than 20 years now felt like the one holding his career hostage. In January 2015, Wayne dropped the mixtape Sorry for the Wait 2, and it wasn't just for the fans. It doubled as a loud warning shot at Cash Money. The tape was packed with disses aimed straight at Birdman and the label that raised him from a kid. On the track Poco, Wayne spit, "All I got is young money, no more cash." The message couldn't have been clearer. Wayne was drawing a hard line. Young Money was his, and Cash Money was now the opposition. On January 25th, 2015, Wayne filed a $51 million lawsuit against Cash Money, accusing them of breaching his contract by holding back the Carter 5 and failing to pay royalties he claimed were owed. He also moved to terminate his deal entirely and planned to take Young Money artists like Drake and Nicki Minaj with him. Wayne's manager, Cortez Bryant, publicly blasted Cash Money, saying Wayne carried the label on his back for over a decade and got repaid with disrespect. In a February 2015 Rolling Stone interview, Wayne revealed he and Birdman weren't even speaking anymore. He called Thought Carter 5 a dead subject and said he wasn't thinking about it at all.
You guys still talk, or is it kind of a little resistance right now because...
I ain't spoke with him in about a month.
Oh.
Maybe about a month.
Then on March 14th, 2015, Wayne dissed Birdman again during a Young Money cypher, spitting bars aimed straight at his former mentor. At an April 2nd, 2015 show in Jacksonville, Wayne even shouted, "Cash Money," to the crowd, turning the tension into a full-blown public moment. The tension didn't cool off. It escalated in ways nobody could have predicted. Even with everything boiling over, Birdman kept claiming the relationship wasn't dead. But Wayne's actions told a very different story. On May 26, 2015, Wayne dissed Cash Money on a $ AP Rocky's $, spitting, "Ain't no more CM," letting everyone know he was finished with them. By June and July 2015, Wayne linked up with Tidal to release Free Weezy album, and the disses kept coming. Tracks like R.I.P. to the Cash Money Weezy made it clear there was no love left. Birdman fired back by suing Jay-Z and Tidal for $50 million over streaming rights, trying to shut the whole move down. Then on July 12th, 2015, things got extra disrespectful when Birdman allegedly threw a drink at Wayne during a Miami performance. That alone was wild, but the real breaking point came when the tension crossed into something much darker. In January 2016, Wayne and Birdman surprisingly reunited at Drake's New Year's Eve party in New York and even performed together. Fans thought maybe the beef was finally squashed. Birdman called Wayne his son on stage like the old days, and reconciliation rumors started flying. But that peace didn't last long at all. On March 28, 2016, Wayne sued Universal Music Group for $40 million, claiming they diverted Young Money profits from Drake, Nicki, and others to cover Birdman's debts. That move reopened all the wounds. In May 2016, Wayne took shots again on Chance the Rapper's No Problem, warning labels not to block his money. He even yelled, "Cash Money," at a Denver rally, not caring who heard it. By September 2016, Wayne hinted at retirement, sounding worn down by the fight. He accused Birdman of pocketing $70 million out of a $100 million advance that was supposed to be his.
See each other every day.
Who?
Man, Wayne, we work right next to the door to each other at the studio.
Are you serious? So if you're in like Studio A and he's in Studio B, y'all be there at the same time?
Yeah.
And y'all don't talk to each other?
Every night, some point we're gonna get together. It ain't like we enemies. We definitely not enemies.
Right, I hear you.
In no kind of way. But like I said, at the end of the day, before it's all said and done for me, he's what I came in the game with, and he what I want to leave.
A judge eventually stepped in and ordered Birdman to open up his financial records to show exactly where all that money went. The public fallout was ugly. Fans everywhere watched in shock as a once unbreakable father-son bond crumbled in real time. Wayne's frustration showed in every interview and every performance. The same man who once proudly called Birdman daddy was now calling him out in front of the entire world. No filter, no protection. The empire they built together from the trenches was splitting down the middle, and millions of dollars were hanging in the balance. What once looked like loyalty and legacy now felt like betrayal and broken promises. And even while Birdman kept talking about hope and reconciliation, the situation was quietly sliding towards something darker and more dangerous. This was no longer just about contracts or paperwork. The legal fight had turned into a battle for freedom and control. Wayne's January 2015 lawsuit against Cash Money laid everything bare. He demanded $51 million in damages, full contract termination, and complete release from the label. The defendants included Cash Money Records, Birdman, and Ronald Slim Williams. Wayne accused them of breaching his contract by refusing to release Thought Carter 5, even though he had delivered the album fully completed. Wayne also claimed he never received the full $8 million advance for recording the Carter Vive, plus an additional $2 million that was due upon completion, saying only partial payments were made. He demanded his promised 49% ownership stake and profit share in Young Money from day one. Wayne alleged he never received proper royalty statements or accounting reports tied to Drake's massive earnings. On top of that, he claimed missing quarterly $200,000 overhead payments, a $1 million escrow fund that was never set up, unauthorized marketing expenses, and zero creative control over his own projects. Every line of that lawsuit showed just how deep the betrayal really ran. Wayne felt completely imprisoned, both creatively and financially, like he was stuck in a cage with no key. He believed Birdman allegedly prioritized other artists, including Young Thug, while using Wayne's success to cover Cash Money's debts, which felt foul and disrespectful. The motive seemed obvious. Wayne had carried Cash Money on his back for over a decade, generating massive wealth, yet claimed he was shortchanged the entire time. On March 28, 2016, Wayne fired back by suing Universal Music Group for more than $40 million. He alleged UMG diverted Young Money profits from Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Tyga to repay over $100 million in advances given to Cash Money. According to Wayne, that move violated his 49% ownership stake in Young Money, including profits and control that were supposed to be his. UMG claimed full control over certain label performance royalties, which Wayne said blocked his payments through SoundExchange and choked his income. The lawsuits dragged on and stalled Wayne's career for years. The Carter 5 was originally set to drop in 2014, but didn't see daylight until September 2018, after a settlement finally cleared the way. Even then, the damage was already done. Wayne publicly vented his frustration with on-stage rants, shouting Cash Money and unloading diss tracks across Sorry For, The Wait 2, and the Free Weezy album. By 2016, Wayne openly talked about retirement, sounding worn down and defeated by the non-stop legal war. The dispute exposed the dark side of the music industry, especially contracts that trap artists while labels profit. Birdman's reputation took a serious hit, reinforcing a pattern of conflicts with artists. That narrative echoed past battles like Juvenile's $10 million lawsuit and Manny Fresh's exit over unpaid money. Courts eventually ordered financial disclosures, forcing Cash Money's books into the spotlight. The fallout didn't stop with Wayne either. Royalty disputes spread across the entire Young Money operation, impacting other artists and shaking the foundation of the empire. Court-ordered financial disclosures pushed both sides into settlement talks, but those negotiations collapsed multiple times. One major breakdown reportedly happened in 2016 after Wayne shouted out Rockefeller, which Birdman took personal. Wayne's frustration hit its peak around this time. Reports said he never wanted to work with Birdman again and just wanted his $51 million so he could walk away and live his life. The public beef stayed toxic, bouncing between fake peace and fresh tension. Moments like the 2016 Drake New Year's Eve reunion sparked reconciliation rumors, only for everything to fall apart again shortly after. The cycle kept repeating. draining everyone involved. Finally, on June 7, 2018, both sides reached an amicable settlement, ending years of legal warfare. A notice of dismissal was filed on May 23, 2018, and publicly reported between June 6th and 7th. Wayne, Cash Money, Birdman, and Universal Music Group all agreed to the deal. Wayne reportedly received an 8-figure payout, believed to be well over $10 million, according to The Blast, allowing him to finally free himself. Some reports suggested Universal covered the payment, not Birdman, expecting to recoup the money later through Drake and Nicki Minaj's profits. The exact amount remains undisclosed to this day.
On to Lil Wayne.
Yes.
What happened was,
It's a lot of moving parts with me and Wayne. And it's important to me that I fix that. I will fix that. And one day, you know, I brought him in the game before his biological still living. I was a father.
Wayne's lawyer, Ron Sweeney, confirmed the matter was resolved amicably, but said they were legally barred from sharing details. Wayne walked away fully released from Cash Money with no strings attached. He owned his masters, his assets, and his entire catalog moving forward. Future releases, including Thought Carter 5, would be handled directly by UMG, cutting out the middleman. Wayne's attorney summed it up best, saying Wayne is his own man now, one who owns his music, his assets, and himself. The settlement finally cleared the runway for Thaw Carter 5, which dropped on September 28, 2018. The album debuted at #1 and moved around 480,000 units in its first week, proving Wayne could still dominate the game after years of lawsuits and delays. That release officially closed the Cash Money chapter of his career, but opened the door to full independence. Wayne walked away owning his catalog and his creative freedom, something most artists never get their hands on. Cash Money's influence started fading heavy after that. The long legal war exposed the traps built into the music industry, while also showing that independence was possible at the highest level. Wayne stood on his own, still ate, and still ran the charts. The settlement brought closure to one of hip-hop's messiest breakups. Money exchanged hands, lawyers took their cuts, but one question still lingered. Could a father and son really forgive after everything that happened? On August 26, 2018, during Lil Louisiana Fest, Birdman stepped on stage and issued a public apology. He told the crowd, "I want to apologize to my son worldwide. We gonna do this till the day we die." That moment hit hard. The apology came just months after the settlement, signaling a real attempt at fixing what was broken. Wayne released Thaw Carter 5 independently on September 28, 2018, and the numbers spoke loud. Debuting at #1 with 480,000 units sold, Wayne proved he never needed Cash Money to win. Fans finally got the album they'd been waiting years for. Earlier that year, in March 2018, Wayne and Birdman had already reunited at Club Live and Birdman's album release party, hinting that the ice was melting.
Kissing them out, bro, forever. Like that's like y'all are forever known as the hip hop couple who kissed each other in the mouth. Like whenever people talk about weird things we've seen in hip hop and how hip hop has gotten so strange and people are accepting of it, that's one of the things they always bring.
But the Louisiana Fest apology made it official. The father and son bond wasn't fully healed yet, but they were finally moving toward peace. In January 2024, Wayne and Birdman officially reunited in the studio, putting an end to a 9-year feud. The energy felt real, not forced, and the reconciliation looked genuine after everything they'd been through. Seeing them back in the lab together shocked a lot of people who thought that bridge was burned forever. By May 2025, Birdman popped up on Nick Cannon's podcast and reflected on discovering Wayne and the fallout that followed. He also claimed Cash Money earned over $2 billion from Wayne, Drake, and Nicki Minaj combined, a statement that instantly sparked debate across hip-hop. The numbers were wild, and the history behind them ran deep. In July 2024, a Hot Boys reunion at Essence Fest made headlines but felt incomplete. Wayne performed separately after reports surfaced that Birdman had barred Turk. Birdman later clarified there was no beef, saying Wayne only agreed to perform at his request. The situation raised eyebrows, but nothing officially blew up. By November 2024, the full Hot Boys finally reunited at Lil Louisiana Fest. Wayne, Juvenile, Turk, BG, Birdman, and Manny Fresh hit the stage together, running through classics and even announcing a mini tour. Fans went crazy seeing the original lineup back in one place. Still, mixed signals kept popping up. During the Hot Boys tour in February 2025, viral clips showed Wayne cutting Birdman off mid-speech in Florida, saying, "All right, let's go." Fans also noticed Birdman appearing to doze off on stage in North Carolina, sparking speculation about exhaustion or health issues. As of January 2026, Wayne and Birdman remain on generally positive terms. There are no active beefs, lawsuits, or public fallouts. Their relationship seems stable, with occasional joint appearances and their shared legacy being celebrated through reunions. No new disputes or legal drama have surfaced through 2025 and into 2026. Today, Wayne and Birdman keep things cordial and focused on legacy more than anything else. Public opinion is still split right down the middle. Fans on Reddit and YouTube argue nonstop about whether the reconciliation is real or just for show. Some people celebrate the father and son healing arc, while others call it forced, pointing straight back to years of drama and bad blood. The tour bus shooting conspiracy theories still fuel skepticism too, with some fans continuing to believe Birdman was behind it despite no charges ever sticking. Other rappers didn't stay quiet either.
Lil Wayne did it. And, I remember when I interviewed Terrence Gangsta Williams, and he said he hates that Wayne does that, but it's not like he could really say anything. He's like, but we don't, that's not us. He's New Orleans, uptown.
In 2017, Rick Ross dropped Idols Become Rivals, a track aimed directly at Birdman for how he treated Wayne. Ross rapped lines comparing record labels to religion and calling Birdman a priest, while saying he prayed Birdman would find kindness in his heart for Wayne after everything he gave him. Wayne reposted the song and thanked Ross publicly, showing that support meant something. Former Cash Money artists like Juvenile, Turk, Manny Fresh, and BG also voiced sympathy for Wayne. They pointed to the label's long history of disputes and money issues, backing Wayne's complaints while downplaying the old kissing controversy as cultural street family affection, not anything out of line. Even with reconciliation, skepticism hasn't disappeared. Fans still notice awkward moments like Wayne cutting Birdman off mid-speech on stage. The relationship looks functional, but not fully healed. Trust doesn't snap back overnight, especially when millions of dollars, lawsuits, and alleged violence were part of the story. In the end, the aftermath tells a complicated truth. Wayne gained independence, creative freedom, and full control of his catalog. He owns his destiny now. Birdman kept his empire standing, though clearly smaller than before. The bond survived, but the scars are still there. Cash Money's influence slowly faded as Young Money's stars grew bigger than the parent label itself. The Feud pulled back the curtain on ugly music industry practices, exposing exploitative contracts, 360 deals, and shady recoupment tactics that trap artists for years. What happened to Wayne sparked real conversations about artist rights, fair contracts, and the dangers of mixing mentorship with unchecked power. Wayne's legal win inspired other artists to stand up and fight for what they're owed, but the price was heavy. Years of delayed music, a shattered father-son bond, and dark allegations nearly destroyed everything they built together. The empire forged from nothing almost collapsed under greed, mistrust, and pride. In the end, they chose forgiveness over more destruction, peace over endless war. Whether that forgiveness is genuine or just practical survival is still up for debate. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives like this, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment your thoughts below. Let us know where you stand on the Wayne and Birdman saga. And don't forget to check out the suggested videos by clicking the cards on your screen. There's more heat waiting for you.